Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Cross. Last time we went to the island of the Damned, and we got the Iron Lancer from the grave of Garai. Then we used it to destroy the curse set up by the, for some reason now, evil Masamune. And then we decided to head into the Dead Sea at long last, only to take on one boss, gain level 25, gain some level 7 element slots, and now we're back to do some farming. And the first thing we're going to farm is we're going to farm Airframe. You specifically, as far as I understand, need to encounter it by itself. And when you do that, you're going to need to set up a trap for the specific element that we're trying to trap. In this case, he's black innate, so we're going to try and trap a black summon element, which, once I get another attack in, which will be the Mothership. Now, always save before attempting to trap any elements, specifically the summons, because we only picked up one of each of them. Now, as with using summon elements ourselves, in order to use them, we need to get the field all one color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help move it along by adding some extra black onto the field. In my case, I'm going to add a diminish element. I believe I put diminish on you. Can I get a turn, please? Thank you. I did not put it on you. That's fine. We'll just cast this. Not a big deal. Get the field all black. Specifically, to my understanding, needs to be in a battle against one of these guys, an Airframe on the Island of the Damned in Homeworld, on its own. Please don't work. I think that means it works. Yeah, it worked. Sadly, I can't revive him because that would change the field effect. Now, if you get into a rut and he decides he's just not going to do it, then there are ways around it. Mainly, you just have to reload. I'm going to turn on fast forward, so this kind of goes a little bit faster, but I can't heal while we're doing this. So he should cast it right away-ish. Maybe he needs to be weakened first? Let's see if he does it now. We just want to get access to this. There it is. Here is Mothership, and there goes Mothership. And it's mine. Let's throw a revive element over onto Van there. Now you'll notice I have two party members that I've talked about being, you know, the side characters. They don't have a lot to do with the plot or anything like that. I'm specifically using it because we're going out to get some trap elements or some... did not want to fight you, I wanted to go up around you, but game forced me down for some reason. Let's try this again. Whoa, look at that slowdown. I have noticed that show up every once in a while when I have fast forward on specifically. I'm going to turn that off so I can get around you. There we go. Now, I've chosen these two in particular because what I'm going to be doing after I collect all of these summon elements is I'm going to want to try and work on them. Now, Van is green, and Janice is red elemental. I don't have a lot of good red or green elemental characters that I plan on using going forward. Radius has pretty much served out his purpose for now. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using them to cast specific elements, the summon elements, to obtain all of those shiny materials that we need to forge the best weapons in the game, and armor, at the end of the game. So our next stop here, and only Janice, out of the characters in my active party, have a level 7 element slot, so she's going to be doing all the trapping. For this one, we want to fight one of the hot doggities, but you want to specifically do it against one of the ones that's only by itself. fact, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to this entrance. And then I'm going to back right out real quick, get the autosave right where I want it, and then we're going to try and fight this guy. Hopefully he shows up by himself. Now, I don't know if it has to be like a single one, but from my understanding, if it shows up in a fight like this with a bull in there as well, it's not going to work. So we're going to run away and try it. Wow, slowdown is real today. Now, there is an update to my my patch here for the better frame rate, and my team is out of the playoffs. Well, that's that. I was trying to watch it. They're in overtime, and that lasted literally minutes. Well, now I'm going to cheer for the team that just beat them to go all the way. Okay, here we go. Finally got one of them to show up by itself. I actually ended up just reloading my save because it was like 8 tries in a row, and they always had someone with them. I don't know what determines the RNG factor when it comes to which battle formations you get in this game. So whenever I can't figure something out, I just reset and see if that helps a bit. Alright, so we have a single hot doggity by itself. Like I said, I don't know if it has to be a single one, but it does have to be, my understanding, by itself. These are just some of the notes that I've picked up as I've perused websites looking for information on this. So I've looked at a few different guides that have said the same thing, so I'm guessing it's correct. Right. And we'll just throw Weaken on him just to get the field effect where I want it. And now we're just defending. Well, that didn't last long. Red Wolf. And he's gone. More for me. You don't have to kill the enemy afterward if you don't want to. Let's see, can we show off something? 24 carrots. Sure. You're literally using them as missiles. That's fantastic. What about you? Do you have one? Wet paint. Throws artist paint pots all over the place. This is an interesting one. What this does is it just modifies the field effect. It's not very good. It's not very useful unless you need to change everything really quickly. Did I just get extremely lucky, or does it just go to the opposite of whatever is currently in play? Because if it does the opposite, then that's actually really good. But as far as I know, that's not the way that works. I'm gonna have to look into that, because if that's how it works, then I can actually put that into a bunch of different strategies. This is what happens when there's 45 characters and I rarely use any of them. Okay, we're back, and this time we're at Shadow Forest. In order to get the green summon, Sonia, we need to fight a bulb. Now, this one, from my understanding, is specific. This one has to be a single bulb by itself, otherwise it won't cast it. So again, we're going to try and build up here. Now, when fighting single enemies, you have to watch really carefully and make sure that they don't start sagging. Because if they start sagging, then you're going to have to cast Cure Plus on them so that they don't die while you're trying to deal enough damage to, well, to build up enough element power to set up for your summon. So what I'm going to do is set up my trap here, and then we should just defend all the way through. I don't think there's anything special you got to do with this one, but we do need to get the field all one color. Alright, so he set a trap here as well, so let's pay attention. It's a green, so he set a trap for a green, and I've set a trap for a green. Interesting. And he's setting another trap. I think the game would be smart enough to realize that you can't cast 2 of those in a... This is different. I've never seen this behavior before. I wonder if this is another thing that they changed in the remaster with the different AI scripts. Because that's unique. I've never seen him cast 3 trap elements in a row. That's just weird. Well, I still got Sonya, so I'm good. That is just nuts. Why would you cast 3 traps in a row like that? That's just nuts. Like, it's not like they stack or anything. The game knows this. This is weird. Anyway, we got that. Okay. And the last one is a dodo in Fossil Valley. Now, we don't have access to the yellow one at the moment. In order to do that, we need to go to a place that we don't currently have access to. So, unfortunately, we will not be getting the yellow one, which is why, specifically, I'm focusing on the green and the red in terms of the ones that I'm going to try and use to farm shiny materials, because those 2 are ones that I happen to have, and they do damage. Now, I do have the black one, and Lynx is a black innate, but he doesn't have a level 7 element slot to put it on. And you need a level 7 element slot in order... Actually, no, you don't. Gee, I can put it on right now. I'm stupid. We got a black hole down there, so let's give you... Can I see it there? Yes, Mothership. So yeah, now I have access to doing this one as well, but... I do want to use these 2 as well. Eventually, once I get access to the yellow one, I'll be using Norris for that, because Norris is a character I actually want to use. But what I'm going to do first, just like I did before, demonstrate this on screen, because why is the enemy right there? We go into the area. We back out to get the autosave. Maybe we'll try from the bottom this time, and we'll go fight a dodo. Now, there's an interesting note about this one, and in my test run, I actually screwed this up and lost out on the only trap that I had and couldn't trap the element. It's the least important one of the bunch, so there's that, and I'm only showing it for completion's sake because it serves 0 practical purpose. But I don't know if you can fight those Drongo fights, but I always just go down here and fight this one particular. Did I put the element on? My brain is mush at this point. I don't know what I've done. Unicorn is set. Now, the reason why I screwed this one up in my test run is because, well, the dodo is still the dodo, and the dodo still counters when you cast elements. So if you cast anything else, you set a trap as well. Now, you can't set a trap for a trap, but I think this is for a white element, if I remember correctly from what he did before. Yes, so it's a white element. I am not worried about that because I'm not going to cast a white element on him because I am not stupid. Much. But we do want to set our unicorn trap. And then you'll note that, well, why would you bother casting? Yeah, so we've set him off there. Now he's going to want to do his spammy counter because we've hit him with an element. So I do want to hit him a couple times because I want to help build up the field effect here. And I think what I probably did before is I probably went, oh, I have this element here, I'll just use weak-minded on it, and then I kind of screwed the whole pooch on it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to only use healing elements. And let him do that. He's going to peck, it's going to do a lot of damage. And there's Unicorn. Now, the reason why this is the least important is because it's the only one of the bunch that doesn't do damage. We're just going to stick with Tex here. Not a lot of damage, but that's fine. Also, in case you didn't notice while we were doing it, Janice's weapon is a carrot. Yeah, she's a bunny girl, and her weapon is a carrot. Her weapon is a carrot. If you think that's funny, wait till you see her ultimate weapon. If that made you laugh, you'll laugh at her ultimate weapon too. Anyway, let us move on. We've got all of our elements. The unicorn, as I said, is the only one that doesn't do damage. Let's take a quick look at it. Raises defense and magic defense for the whole party. Nah, I don't really need that. Not for the cost of a summon element that I have to match the, Jeez, you are fast! Surprised I did not run into you. Anyway, we got the save. I'm happy. We got all of those summon elements. We now have access to them for all of the characters that we want to use. So let's just go attack first. Let's get our Red Wolf on you. Let's get our Sonia on you. And Carnivore down there. And I think everything's good. Now, one thing I have done is I've added some additional elements to my grid. Namely, an extra red, an extra green on level 1 if possible, and usually at least a second black elemental somewhere along the line. Yours happens to do damage. Let's change that to something else so that you're not dealing damage. Go. And I forgot to put it on you entirely. That's fun. Let's throw a couple on you real quick. Basically, you just want to be set up so that you're able to do things. Screw it. We don't need that right now. You just want to set it up so that at any time you can set up anyone to use a summon element to take out the enemies. Now, while we have Janice in the party, there's one other thing that I could have done a lot earlier, but there was no real reason to go there. There's one island among all of these islands that we can go to now that I neglected to go to before. Approach it. And press the X button. You have to approach it from the bottom for some reason. It doesn't work from the top. An area like this may look familiar to you. This is the Bend of Time. Sadly, nowhere near as interesting as the End of Time from Chrono Trigger, but it does have its uses. It's a special battlefield where monsters travel across dimensions to gather. You can battle monsters that you may have missed. To my understanding, White Knight is not an option in here, based on little bits that I've read, but it's possible that it is too, and I've just never seen it. I don't spend a lot of time here. If you bring Janice to talk to this guy, I believe you spoke, I think it was Sneff that said it. He said that he met someone at the Bend of Time or something about that. And the implication was that he got his magical power to turn people into cats from a berry he ate there. Well, this is that place. Looks to me like the god of combat has taken a liking to you. You should take this. You should be able to use it wisely. What's up, Doc? We received her level 7 tech, when most people have barely got their level 5s. Now, in order to use that, you need to use it on a level 7 slot, obviously, and I have a summon on there currently, so I'm not going to do that. But it's there, and you can use it. It permanently puts it in that spot. You cannot move it afterward. So I'm going to hold off until later. Not like we really need it right now anyway, and the summon will do me a lot better. Back here, the time will come for the doorway to open. Now, basically the use of this place, you approach any of these things and press the X button. And music to my ears. They allow you to fight battles in different environments against enemies from the past, and thank Christ we don't have to listen to the battle theme for it. There are various different themes that will play while you're in here, and like we're fighting basic loop enemies. Like these guys are super weak. At least I think they are. Okay, these are the higher level ones, but same difference applies. We'll just finish them off real quick here. There's nothing really to gain from fighting here other than to fight some enemies you've missed, get some new doppelgangs for Sprig maybe. One of the things that I will actually use this for later on, another bad level. Well, at least Ben and Janice get stuff. Not that it matters because I'm not using them, but each of these will be a kind of a different stage of combat. So like this one here is going to play a song I don't particularly... I can fight these guys yet? These are enemies we haven't even run into yet. I'm just going to run away. I will show off those guys later. Sidestep is actually something that's in my notes at some point or another. But as you can hear, various different songs will play, and it won't always be the same. So lots of different music, different enemies in different areas. It doesn't always take you back to the same area. Like here's a battlefield we haven't even seen yet, fighting enemies from an area that's completely unrelated. So if you ever wanted to fight Total Chaos in a way that, wasn't with the same battle theme and in the same area, you could come here and you could fight them. And for some reason, listen to the Guldiv theme. Yeah, giant carrot as a weapon. And there it is in not fast forward motion, since I think last time I had it in fast forward. Now, Van, as a boomerang user, can hit all enemies with his fierce attack. Here's another tech, jump throw. Actually looks pretty cool, to be honest. Looks like it could be a wind spell. But yeah, you can come here and you can fight enemies to your heart's content. If you happen to run into like a big group of 3 or 4 enemies, you may want to use your summon elements here. I will specifically be farming elements here, or shining materials here later on for one specific element, because we get that summon element very late, and considering we have an attacking one for every other element save for yellow and white, I will leave you to guess which one it is. But yeah, so we now have access to that at any time we so desire to do that. Now, we've gone a peek into Death's Door and the Dead Sea, and then we came back out, because at level 25 we could access those summon elements. Now that I have all the summon elements in tow, let's head back in here. I'm not going to make it too far today, but I did want to go over all that stuff because getting it is very important. Now we're actually going to do the full run through here, and it's going to take a bit. This is a rather lengthy area. It consists of numerous different parts. Here we have the Highway Ruins South. And this time, we're going to head up here on the left. And we're actually going to fight these guys this time. Pretty much any of the enemies you encounter around here are going to be far weaker to magic than they are physical. And I don't have any specific notes about these Geos things, even though they seem to be amorphous, strange-looking, weird thingies. What element are you? You are black. Let's use Holy Light. Let's see what kind of damage we can get with Holy Light here. Not bad, coming from a black innate character. And they drop a high rest that I'm not particularly interested in. I wonder what the hell those guys are. Alright. Actually, I think I want to do this side first, if I remember correctly. Yes. I ran into an invisible enemy! Yeah, the Geos enemies are amorphous and half-transparent, so you're probably going to run into a few of them that you're not trying to run into. I don't know what that did. What did that do? Poison and Afraid. Well, that sucks balls. Let's not. Let's go for Glide Hook. Simple enough. Yeah, the Geos enemies aren't too terribly difficult to deal with. Here we get a screw. There are 4... I have the wrong treasure list up, don't I? I do. There are 5 items in this area. That's 1. Let's get poison off before I go too much further. There we go. I love the mysterious nature of the music for this area. And, like, the whole atmosphere that creates with, like, frozen waves and just everything about this area. The one thing you could have done better, I've said it multiple times, I don't like the battle theme. And the Dead Sea theme is so unique, so atmospheric, that I really wish they would have let it play out. Just through all battles and everything. But they didn't. I won't be showing any more of these guys. They're boring. They don't do anything. They die too fast. And they seem to drop nothing but high res. And another screw. I have a feeling I'm getting screwed around here. Alright, up here. Third item, a piece of mithril. And then we're going to head down here. There's a funny little thing here. Now, I believe you need to walk to do this. We get a free fall. And then we fall. I don't know 100% if you have to walk for that, but they played around with the name of it and the kind of the humor involved with, yeah, it's a free fall and then you fall. Down here, we get the 5th and final item, a capsule. Not that it's all that bothersome to get, but it's there. This is where we fought the boss fight. There's nothing special about this place. Some of these guys just go for a random jog. And there's a door made out of a wave. Did he just teleport? Okay, this place scares the crap out of me. And a new enemy. Robo Ducky. Okay. I think these often show up in larger groups, so I'm going to run away and try again. I remember making a mistake about which enemies showed up in big groups last time in my test run, and I was always assuming it was one enemy and it wasn't, and then I found the enemy that shows up in groups later on. So maybe I'm just misremembering, and these guys always show up in groups of one. They're white-based, so they fall down real fast to Surge. Let's get a black hole going, so we have damage plus a chance of instant death. It's basically all around better than using Glide Hook at this point. That won't always be the case, but for now, it's usually the better option because not only do you have huge damage potential, you also have that instant death potential as well. And it hits multiple enemies. Over here, what do we got? Anti-blue. Okay, I went and double-checked when I was fighting that battle. There's nothing interesting to drop or steal from either the Geos or the Robo Ducky. There's a yellow. I'm noticing a trend here. And once we start running into larger groups, we're going to be using our summon elements. But for now, I'm going to hold off before going in there because it leads into a more lengthy cutscene. Now, this area here functions as a world map, so you can save here whenever you want, because there are no save points other than the things that look like save points that lead to new areas. Not sure why that's the case. Now, the reason I've chosen these two in particular to be my characters, even though I have other characters that are red and other characters that are green, Van is here to do something different, so I'm not just using Radius all the time, because normally that's all I would do. Van, I think, also has, he's got better magic stats, so there's that. Same with Janice over Zappa. But more importantly than that, I can equip them however I want, because if you look at their stamina recovery, we have a value of 10 and a value of 10. Now, if we take a look at some of those other characters, Zappa has a recovery of 8, which is terrible, and Radius has a recovery of 9, so I have to donate a specific accessory slot to give them either a stamina ring, in Radius' case, or a stamina belt, in Zappa's case, just so that they can keep up with the stamina recovery. So that's the primary reason I've chosen them. There are probably other characters I could use. No, actually there aren't. Those are the only ones of those colors. Sprig doesn't get a high enough level, I think, to use summon elements, nor would I want to use her for that purpose. But so interestingly enough, those just happen to be the better characters for this purpose. And it's one of the few times I'll be using characters that have no real interest to the main plot. I try and stick to characters that are either really, really good, like Glenn was, or like Norris is, or characters that are important to the plot that's going on. In the case of Radius, he's been very important to the plot for a while. Harley doesn't get a lot of love from me because she's Black Innate, and I already have Lynx, so why do I need a second Black Innate character? Though I will be using her at one point or another. Starkey is just decent all around, and he's my only white innate character right now. So whenever I need a white innate character, I will be calling on him. I don't need a blue innate character right now, but I guess you would be my only option there. Anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Next time, we'll continue into the weird and wonderful Dead Sea. That's all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.